My wife put yellow daisies on the kitchen table every Friday for 41 years. Every single Friday. I walked past them, sat down, ate my dinner, and never once, not once, told her they were beautiful. She died on a Saturday, November 16th, 2019. The kitchen table was empty. It had been empty for 3 Fridays by then, but I will get to that. My name is Harlan. I am 84 years old. I have 2 bad knees, a pacemaker I don't trust, and hands that shake when it gets cold. And I'm going to tell you something that I wish I understood when I still had time to fix it. Not wisdom. I don't have wisdom. I have damage. And maybe if I show you mine, you'll check your own before it's too late. Dot and I met in the summer of 1966 at the Morgan County Fair outside McConnelsville, Ohio. She was 19, brown hair tied back with a ribbon, yellow daisy tucked behind her left ear. She was working the ring toss booth, and she had this way of laughing when someone missed. Not mean, just like she genuinely enjoyed watching people try. I threw $4 worth of rings that night. Didn't land a single one. She looked at me and said, "You're terrible at this, but I like that you keep trying." That was Dot. She always saw the trying, even when the results weren't there. We were married the following spring, May of '67. Small ceremony, her mother's backyard, folding chairs on the grass. I wore my father's suit, and it was too big in the shoulders. Dot didn't care. She straightened my tie and said, "You'll grow into it." I got a job on the Norfolk Southern line 3 months after the wedding. Railroad engineer. Ran freight between Columbus and Roanoke for 36 years. Good job. Union pay. I was proud of it, and I should have been. I kept that family fed, kept the mortgage paid, kept the lights on every single month for 36 years. That part I did right. But the railroad has a way of flattening you out. You sit in that cab 12, 14 hours, watching the same tracks unspool in front of you. And after a while, you start treating everything like track. Straight ahead. No surprises. Don't look sideways. I brought that home with me. I was not a bad husband, I want to say that clearly. I did not drink. I did not raise my hand. I did not run around. I came home every night I was not on a run. I sat at that kitchen table. I ate what Dot cooked, and I went to bed. But I was a quiet man from a quiet family. My father never told my mother he loved her, not once that I ever heard. He showed up, he worked, he provided. And when he died, my mother said he was a good man. That was it. That was the highest praise in our house. So I became that, a good man, a provider, present in body, absent in every way that mattered. Dot put those yellow daisies on the table starting the very first Friday after our honeymoon. I remember because I came home and saw them and I thought, that's nice. I thought those exact words, that's nice. And I sat down and I ate my pot roast and I did not say a single thing about the flowers. Not that week, not the next week, not the next year. They were just there, like the table itself, like the wallpaper, like the clock above the stove, part of the scenery. I saw them the way you see a mailbox on your street. You know it's there. You never really look at it. Dot never asked me about the flowers. That's the thing that gets me now. She never said, "Did you notice the flowers, Harlan?" She never fished for a compliment. She just kept putting them there, week after week, year after year, like she was keeping a promise to herself that had nothing to do with whether I noticed or not. But it had everything to do with whether I noticed. I just didn't know that then. Our daughter Jenny was born in 1971. Beautiful kid. Had Dot's laugh. That same easy, generous laugh. Jenny used to make things for me. Cards, drawings, little crafts she brought home from school. She'd hand them to me with both hands, holding her breath, watching my face. I'd take them, nod, say, "That's nice, Jenny." Put them on the counter, go back to the paper. I can see it now, the way her face would hold still for a second, waiting, and then just close, like a door shutting real soft. She'd go back to her room and I'd sit there reading the box scores, and I had no idea what I'd just done. There was one birthday, 1983. Jenny turned 12. She made me a card. She really made it. Construction paper, glitter, the whole thing. She must have worked on it for days. On the front it said, "Best Dad in the World." And inside she had written a list. Things I love about Dad. Number 1 was he always comes home. That was the best thing my 12-year-old daughter could say about me. He always comes home. Not he plays with me. Not he makes me laugh. Not he tells me I'm smart. He comes home. Like I was a homing pigeon that deserved credit for finding the right house. I read it. I nodded. I put it in my shirt pocket. I didn't hug her. I didn't say, "This is the best thing anyone ever gave me." I just folded it up like a receipt. Dot was standing in the doorway watching. She didn't say a word. She just turned back to the kitchen. I heard the water run. Jenny doesn't make me things anymore. We talk on the phone every few weeks. She lives in Portland now. She's a good woman, a good mother. She sends pictures of the grandkids at Christmas. But there's a careful distance in everything she does with me. Polite, measured. Like she decided a long time ago exactly how close she would let me get, and she has never once adjusted it. I earned that distance. I built it, one nod at a time. There was a night in 1994. I remember this because the leaves were turning and Dot had been quieter than usual, which was saying something because Dot was already a quiet woman. She was sitting on the porch after dinner, not reading, not knitting, just sitting. I came out to check the weather for my morning run, and she looked up at me and said, "Do you like living here, Harlan?" I said, "What kind of question is that?" She said, "A real one." I said it was fine. The house was fine. Everything was fine. She looked at me for a long time. Then she said, "I put flowers on the table every Friday." I said, "I know." She said, "What kind are they?" I opened my mouth. Nothing came out. 30 years of yellow daisies on that table, and I stood there on my own porch and I could not name them. She nodded, like she already knew the answer before she asked. She picked up her tea and went inside, and I heard the screen door close behind her. That should have been the night everything changed. That should have been the night I sat down next to her and said, "I see you, Dot. I've always seen you. I just never learned how to say it." But I didn't. I stood on that porch and I told myself she was being dramatic. I told myself flowers were just flowers. I told myself I was a good man who came home every night, and that should be enough. It was never enough. Showing up is not the same as being there. I know that now. I paid 41 years to learn it. The years moved. I retired in 2003. Suddenly I was home all the time, sitting at that kitchen table for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And a strange thing happened. Dot started leaving the house more. Book club on Tuesdays, church group on Thursdays, errands that took whole afternoons. She had built a life around my absence, and when I finally showed up, there was no room for me in it. I had given her all that empty space for 36 years, and she had filled it with other things, quieter things, things that didn't need her to wait. I sat at that table alone a lot of mornings, coffee getting cold, yellow daisies right in front of me, and for the first time in my life I actually looked at them. They were beautiful. October 2019, a Friday. I came down for breakfast and the table was bare, no flowers. I stopped in the doorway. It felt like something had been removed from the room that was bigger than a bunch of daisies, like the walls were farther apart. I went out to the garden. Dot was sitting on the wooden bench by the fence, not planting, not weeding, just sitting, hands in her lap. I said, "No flowers today?" She looked up at me. Her eyes were clear and steady and not angry. That was the worst part. If she had been angry, I could have argued. But she wasn't angry. She was just finished. She said, "I ran out of reasons to believe you see them, Harlan." I stood there in that garden and I felt something crack open in my chest that I did not know was sealed shut. 41 years of yellow daisies. 41 years of her saying "I love you" in the only language I never learned to hear. I tried to fix it. I want you to know that. The next Friday, I drove to the grocery store and bought roses, red ones. Put them on the table in a drinking glass because I didn't know where she kept the vases. Dot came down, looked at them, looked at me. She put them in a proper vase and said, "Thank you, Harlan," but her voice was flat, like she was thanking a stranger who held a door open. I understood then. It was never about the flowers. The daisies were a question she asked me every Friday for 41 years, and the answer she needed was not more flowers. The answer was me saying, "I see you." Dot died 3 weeks later, November 16th, 2019, Saturday morning. She went in her sleep. Peaceful, the doctor said. I was in the house. I was right there in the next room. But I was asleep, and she left without a sound, the same way she did everything, quietly, without asking anyone to notice. I found her Bible on the nightstand. She had been reading it the night before, and tucked between the pages of 1 Corinthians, the chapter about love, the one they read at weddings, was a single pressed yellow daisy, flat, dry, so old the petals had gone the color of parchment. On the back of the page, in Dot's handwriting, in pencil so faint I almost missed it, 5 words. He'll see them one day. I sat on the edge of that bed and I held that daisy and I cried in a way I had not cried since I was a child. Not sobbing, just leaking. Like something that had been held under pressure for 60 years finally found a crack. She believed in me. After all that silence, after all those years of walking past her flowers and nodding at her daughter and treating every beautiful thing she did like background noise, she still believed I would see them one day. And she was right. But she wasn't there when I finally did. I put yellow daisies on the kitchen table every Friday now. I drive to the same farm stand Dot used to go to, the one on Route 78 just past the old feed store. I picked them out myself. I put them in her vase, the blue one with the chip on the rim. And I sit at that table and I say it out loud, to an empty room, what I should have said 10,000 times. They're beautiful, Dot. I am 84 years old, bad knees, shaky hands, a pacemaker humming in my chest. I sit on this porch every morning with my coffee, and I think about all the Fridays I wasted. 2,132 Fridays. That's 41 years worth. And every single one of them she put flowers on my table. And every single one of them I sat down and said nothing. So let me tell you what I know. The people who love you are not asking for grand gestures. They are not waiting for a vacation or a ring or a speech. They are putting flowers on your table. They are making you coffee. They are texting you something small in the middle of the afternoon just to say they were thinking of you. They are trying in 100 quiet ways to find out if you see them. And every time you walk past it, every time you nod without looking, every time you say that's nice without meaning it, you are answering their question. You are telling them no. You will not get a warning. The flowers will just stop one Friday. And by the time you notice the table is empty, it might be too late to fill it again. The second thing, you were taught wrong, and so was I. I was taught that men provide, that love is a roof and a paycheck and showing up sober. My father never said the words. His father never said the words. And I carried that forward like it was heritage instead of damage. It is damage. Say the words. I love you. You're beautiful. I see what you did, and it matters. Say it out loud. Say it today. Say it even if your voice shakes and it feels like pulling a nail out of old wood. Say it. Because the silence you think is strength, the person you love hears it as absence. And absence, given enough time, becomes an answer. Third, if someone you love has stopped asking, if they've stopped putting flowers on the table, stopped inviting you, stopped fighting with you, that is not peace. That is a door closing. And the click is so quiet you will not hear it until you try to open it again and find it locked. Go to them now, not tomorrow. Now. Because the people who stop asking are the ones who have already started leaving, even if their body is still in the room. And the last thing, this is the one I cannot say without my hands shaking. Some things you cannot make right. I cannot go back and tell Dot her flowers were beautiful. I cannot hold my daughter the way she needed when she was 12. I cannot unlearn 41 years of silence in whatever time I have left. But I can sit at that table every Friday and put those daisies in that blue vase and say the words out loud to an empty kitchen. And maybe that's not nothing. Maybe Dot hears me somewhere. Maybe she always knew I'd get here. She wrote it down after all. He'll see them one day. In the comments, I want you to write one thing. Not a name, not a speech. Just one small thing someone in your life does for you that you have never acknowledged out loud. The coffee they make, the door they hold, the text they send, the way they wait up. Write it down, because the moment you name it, you start seeing it. And once you see it, you cannot walk past it anymore. That is all I got.